Today, we are diving into a really fascinating and honestly a kind of unexpected connection: the wild, high stakes world of financial trading and the ancient, quiet practice of Zen Buddhism. I know it sounds a little out there, right? But stick with me because as we're about to see, this might just be the missing piece for anyone trying to master the markets. Let's get into it. Okay, so let's just start with a really big question. When you think about trading, what's the single biggest risk? What's the thing that trips up more people than anything else? Now, most of us probably have an answer ready to go. But it turns out that answer is probably not what you think. See, the biggest danger isn't the market itself. It's not a sudden crash, a volatile swing, or some complex algorithm working against you. The real weakness, the real vulnerability, it isn't out there at all. And there it is. This is the absolute heart of the matter. Your greatest opponent in the trading world isn't on a chart or a newsfeed. It's right between your ears. It's our own mind, that tendency we all have to just react, emotionally and impulsively, to all the chaos the market throws at us. You know, the source material for this explainer puts it in a way that's just perfect. It says trading isn't just about spreadsheets and data. It's an existential encounter with uncertainty. Think about that. You're not really fighting the S&P 500. You're battling your own internal responses to fear, to greed, and to just not knowing what's going to happen next. So if the problem is internal, well, the solution has to be internal too, right? And that's exactly where Zen Buddhism comes into the picture. Now, to be super clear, we're not talking about religion here, not at all. We're looking at Zen as a practical, philosophical toolkit, a set of mental models designed to help you master that reactive mind. Okay, so what does this actually look like? How does it work? Let's break down some of the core Zen principles that can literally shift a trader's mindset from being all over the place and emotional to clear, focused, and disciplined. First up, and this is a big one, is non-attachment. Now, what does that mean? It's the art of engaging 100% in what you're doing, like placing a well-researched trade, but at the same time, completely letting go of your emotional need for a specific outcome. You do the work, you execute the plan, and then you release it. And you can really see the difference it makes here. The attached trader, they're on a total emotional roller coaster. They're flying high after a win, which leads to overconfidence, and then they're crushed by a loss, which leads to despair and revenge trading. But the non-attached trader, they stay level. Their focus isn't on the win or the loss. It's on executing their strategy perfectly, every single time. It's all about the process. And this is the mantra that just nails it. Your job, your only job, is to find a good setup and execute your plan. That's it. After that, the market is going to do what the market is going to do. You have to focus only on the things you can actually control. Okay, next key principle: ego reduction. Man, in trading, ego is just poison. It's that little voice in your head that says, you're smarter than the market, or no way you can be wrong on this one, or that classic, you got to win back that money you just lost, right now. The whole practice of Zen is about taking that voice, that need to be right, and slowly dismantling it. And look at the difference in approach. The ego-driven trader is always trying to beat the market, to force their will onto it. But the humble trader, they get it. They understand they're just a small boat in a giant ocean. They don't try to conquer the ocean. They learn to navigate it with respect. This one idea can change everything. A loss isn't a personal failure. It's not the market telling you you're dumb. It's just data. That's it. It's the market giving you a piece of information. Your job is to listen, learn from it, and move on to the next trade. The third pillar of this whole mindset is the acceptance of impermanence. This is absolutely central to Zen. Everything changes. Nothing, and I mean nothing, stays the same forever. And boy, is that true in the financial markets. Think about it. Trends always end. Volatility comes and goes. The strategy that made you a genius last quarter might be useless next month. If you resist this constant change, you're just going to get frustrated and lose money. The real clarity, the real success comes from adapting, not resisting. All right, so we've talked about the big mindset shifts. That's the what to think part. But how do you actually turn this into a daily practice? Because this isn't about just wishing you were calmer. It's about building discipline through consistent, repeated action. And it really boils down to these three things. First, you have to cultivate presence, being right here, right now, to shut down all that mental noise, the FOMO, the regret, the what-ifs. Second, build a rock-solid routine. The market is chaotic by nature. Your process should be the exact opposite. And third, you learn to regulate your emotions. That means watching fear or greed pop up, acknowledging it, oh, hey there, fear, and then just letting it pass by without letting it grab the steering wheel. And this right here, this is the secret sauce. Yeah, a crazy, high-emotion trading day feels exciting, but it's the boring stuff, the calm, repetitive, disciplined execution day in and day out that actually compounds and builds real, long-term success. Now, let's be absolutely crystal clear on something. This entire framework, this whole Zen approach, it's not a crystal ball. It will not teach you how to predict what the market is going to do next. But what it does teach you is frankly way more valuable. It teaches you how to face that fundamental uncertainty of the market with a clear mind, a mind that isn't all twisted up by fear or ego or greed. It lets you see the market for what it actually is, not what you hope it is or what you're afraid it might be. And what happens when you practice this consistently? You start to develop these qualities that, over the long run, are so much more powerful than just being smart. You develop the patience to wait for the perfect pitch, the clarity to see it when it arrives, the humility to know when you're wrong and cut your losses, and the discipline to execute your plan every single time. And at the end of the day, it all comes down to this one simple truth. Having a calm, Zen-like mindset isn't some magic ticket to guaranteed profits. But having its opposite, an agitated, emotional, ego-driven mind, well, that almost guarantees losses. You're just making an already hard game even harder. So I'll leave you with this final thought. We spend so much time and energy trying to guess what the market will do next, but maybe that's the wrong question entirely. Maybe the only question that really matters is this. The next time that wave of uncertainty hits, and it will hit, how will you choose to meet it?